So I imagine you've stumbled across this video because the title kind of resonates with you and you're thinking, well, that sounds a bit like me, to be honest. And you've got some sort of weird joint pain that you can't really describe. You're a young athlete and you've been to all the physios and the specialists, and they're not really helping you. And obviously, I just don't think it's talked about enough in the young athlete space, because this is quite a new issue, I think. And I think it's going to be one that becomes normal in a few years' time. But now it's still not. Basically, you've probably got a form of arthritis. Call it what you want: rheumatoid arthritis, arthritis. My form is ankylosing spondylitis, and it hit me when I was 22. So not a teenager, but I'm seeing it now with the clients that I work with and my own athletes that I coach in person, being young athletes aged 12 to 18 or online clients. I've got a few teenagers. It's becoming more common, and there's more weird inflammatory issues that, well, they look like inflammatory issues. Can't really pinpoint what it is that is causing it, but they get this like back pain or SIJ pain or whatever it may be. And I think it's just gut issues. And again, it's not the gut that is the issue on its own. It's the way we live, the food we eat, the vaccines we take, the antibiotics we take, the chemicals, the plastics, the water we drink. It all adds up to harm the gut, to induce SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, to damage our gut lining, which we should see as like our main form of defense against pathogens and bacteria that we don't want there. And this over time, which for some people can be very soon if you're a teenager, can lead to disease and autoimmune disease, and specifically, which is annoying for you, joint pain, where you don't want joint pain. The fact that it's hitting teenagers at this age is a little bit worrying for society, because we're only getting more unhealthy. Perhaps as a movement with all social media and the health stuff that's on there, perhaps there is a movement towards more health because it's just becoming a little bit more readily available. But I'm not sure. There's going to be a lot of teenagers that are very sick, especially in the United States and the Western world, just because of the food they eat and the way they live. But the rambling over what you can do about it, or the way to think about it as a teenager, is see it as a real blessing, because you're actually having to face an issue that every other person will probably have to face at some point. They could get lucky, people get lucky and they could live the same way and they just come through it and they're fine, or it gets them when they're 50, which I guess if you're an elite athlete isn't as big a deal. But think of it as if you're 14, 15, 16 and you're getting these sorts of weird inflammatory issues, or you've been diagnosed even, see this as a good thing. You actually have the chance now to make the changes at an early enough stage for it to springboard you into the rest of your career. If you get this in your 20s, I just see it as more problematic. If I could choose my son or an athlete I'm working with for when they experience these symptoms, I would choose younger, because there's more you can do about it. There's habits you can change easier. There's diets that you can get used to, and you're just not at the peak of your level yet. So it's not a bigger drop if you have to take time off or just rebuild. So see it as a good thing. See it as a chance for you to figure this stuff out. If you need help with it, I'm your guy. Follow my email list or send me a message and I can help you. But there's definitely there's plenty of things you can do. And sadly, one of those things isn't really just go to the doctors and they'll help you, because they might get rid of the pain initially with some drugs and medications, but that isn't gonna fix it long term. From everything I've seen from all these people, different ages, there's not that many that can just get heavily dosed on meds and live the life they want to long term without any issues. There's more you've got to do about it.